Hey guys, the Explorer 4 here, Horrorboy465. Welcome back to some more reviews. And today I want to do another audio video. As you guys know, I try to switch up on my channel a little bit, try to do something a little bit different every time. Try to add a little bit of variety in my channel. And even in my movie reviews, I try to add different things and stuff like that. So in today's video, I want to do an audio video. And today will be a vlog discussing so far my thoughts on the Bye Bye Man. Now, I have not seen the film yet, so I will not be judging the film as if to where I had seen it. I'll do a movie review on it eventually when I do see it. But right now, I'm going to be talking about the trailers, the advertisements, the poster, the plot that I've seen so far. Talk about just what I think of it so far. You know, seeing the commercials and the fact that it's coming out in January. And talk about all that stuff. So, yeah, the Bye Bye Man. I will say this: if you're a fan of the Bye Bye Man, if you enjoy the Bye Bye Man, that's totally fine. I say that in every video because I know there's a fan of every film. So if you are a fan of the Bye Bye Man, if you're a really big fan of it, that's totally fine. That's totally cool. This is just my personal opinion on it. And my personal opinion is the Bye Bye Man is literally one of the most disappointing looking horror films that I've seen in a long time. And I haven't seen it yet. I'll eventually watch it. I don't really have any desire to because so far it looks bad. And I know that I can't judge a book by the cover, but it's just the fact that I have been watching the trailers. I have been reading a little bit of the plot. I literally have seen the freaking advertisements everywhere. Literally, this movie has been freaking, as far as advertisements and trailers go, this movie has been one of the most overhyped, like I said, as far as trailers and advertisements go, like on Facebook, YouTube, TV, like, you know, on actual TV. When it comes to that stuff, it's been one of the most over-advertised, overhyped horror films that I've seen in a while. I really can't think of another horror film that has been so put out there to YouTube and Facebook and on TV and commercials, you know, and saying that the Bye Bye Man is going to get released. Now, I know that January was the month of its release. It was the first horror film of January. It came out January 13, 2017. I believe Split was the second horror film, horror film of the year, or at least of January. And I'm more excited to see Split. I know that M. Night Shyamalan has had a rough past. I mean, you know, with his films. And I know that he made The Visit, which I'm not really sure. I know his past filmography has been the best. I mean, Signs I've heard was good from some people, and I've heard that it's bad from some people. I'm a fan of The Sixth Sense, really good film. Personally, I think The Happening is a decent film. I haven't seen The Visit yet, but that's, I think, before Split was his most recent film. But I heard mixed opinions on The Visit as well. I used to have The Village, but I got rid of it because I really had no intentions of watching it. I seen the ratings, I seen the reviews. I literally have no interest in seeing The Village, so I literally sold the DVD of The Village. And all of his other stuff I haven't seen yet, but I have seen The Happening. I also did see After Earth, which is an undeniably horrible film. It's not any way a good movie. It is just a horrible film, After Earth. In my opinion, it's really bad. Had some horrible effects and just awful film. So yeah, I did see After Earth. I seen The Happening. I have seen The Sixth Sense. I want to see Signs. I also want to see, well, I don't want to see The Village, but I do want to see Signs. But I still have more films to watch from M. Night Shyamalan, but his newest film, Split, looks very interesting, and it has like a higher rating than the Bye Bye Man, and it just looks like a better film than the Bye Bye Man. It looks more interesting than the Bye Bye Man. And I understand that just because the Bye Bye Man came out in January doesn't mean it's going to be bad, but most of the time, when horror films are released in January, they are bad because January for the past couple of years has been one of the worst months for horror. January is one of the worst months for horror. I seen The Forest in January, and the experience in the theater was better than the movie. It really was. Just everybody having a good time in the theater, and jump scares and stuff like that. And everybody just having a good time. That was a better part. That was the better experience. It was better than the movie. Just going and watching the movie was better than the movie The Forest. To me, The Forest, it really could have been a good idea, but it was just the execution. You know, you had a horrible cast. It got very dull and boring at times. Got very cliche at times. Some CGI in it that was pretty bad. A horrible ending, cheesy CGI jump scare that seems to happen in a lot of freaking horror films now. But The Bye-Bye Man, it's just one of the most disappointing looking horror films that I've seen in a while. And it's because of the combination of the fact that it's coming out in January, which, yes, Split is coming out in January as well. Well, I mean, they're both already out. But Split looks better than The Bye-Bye Man. It looks more interesting than The Bye-Bye Man. And just in my personal opinion, I'm more excited for Split than I am for The Bye-Bye Man. And I remember even the first time I had heard about this movie was when I was on Facebook. There was an advertisement for The Bye-Bye Man. And I had seen the thumbnail, and I had seen the title, The Bye-Bye Man. And already, that title, I was already saying to myself, that's a ridiculous freaking title for a horror film. And it is. The Bye-Bye Man is literally one of the most ridiculous titles for a horror film out there. It's PG-13, which is also a bad time, because PG-13 horror films nowadays just aren't really that good. Unless they're cutting-edge PG-13 horror films that are almost rated R. You do get actually some decent PG-13 horror films, though. I have seen some decent PG-13 horror films. But when it comes to just nowadays, it's just most of the PG-13 horror films, they do indeed suck. And so you got that. So far from the trailers, from what I've seen in the acting in the trailers was pretty bad, but it's a trailer, so I might give it a pass because it is a trailer. But so far, the little bits of acting that I've seen in the trailers, the acting was pretty bad. But is it just me, or does this movie, it just reminds me so much of The Boogeyman? You know, when it comes to the poster, when it comes to the design of The Bye-Bye Man, when it comes to just, oh yeah, you think it, you say it, the Bye-Bye Man appears, and he tries to attack you and stuff. It just reminds me of the Boogeyman movies, especially the first Boogeyman movie. It just reminds me of that because, and I'll be honest, the original Boogeyman, like, I don't know, but like the original Boogeyman movies, like The Boogeyman and Return of the Boogeyman or Revenge of the Boogeyman, whatever it's called, I would say, I don't know if those are the original Boogeyman movies, but the Boogeyman film from 2004 or 5, I believe, that was actually it was an okay movie. I mean, it wasn't the greatest horror film, but it kind of reminded me of that, and that is just like an okay horror film, decent, but kind of slow paced, and yeah, just the Boogeyman film from 2004 or 5, I can't remember. It's okay, but it's not the greatest horror film. I'm more of a fan of Boogeyman 2. Boogeyman 3 is just a cheap direct-to-video sequel that is crappy. But, Boogeyman 2 is a fun slasher film that's a little bit underrated. Because Boogeyman 2 kind of gets a little bit overlooked. But just the Bye-Bye Man in general kind of reminds me of the Boogeyman. The design, the hooded figure who appears and disappears whenever you mention his name. And just so far has had some of the most annoying advertisements I've seen for a horror film in a long time. Even The Forest and The Gallows and Crimson Peak, those are all horror films that I'm not a fan of. They don't have annoying advertisements. Like when they was coming out, I didn't see the advertisements and get annoyed by them to the point where I literally was getting tired of seeing the advertisements. The Bye-Bye Man has had some of the most annoying advertisements and trailers I've seen for a horror film because most of the time, the trailers keep repeating the same theme. Don't think it, don't say it. Now I know it's I know it's a slogan. I know that it's a catchphrase. I know that it's the subtitle for the film. But when you have the poster, which you guys might be seeing in this video, when you have the poster, literally, I believe it was, I don't know, 10 times, something like that. I don't know. It was like literally like freaking almost 10 times, 15 times on the poster that you're looking at. It literally says the Bye Bye Man, or no, it literally says don't think it, don't say it, about 10 to 15 times, or 10 to 12. I don't really know. I don't care. Like when I counted it, I kind of forgot the count. So however many it is, but I think it's like 10 or 12. But you guys looking at the poster right now, probably because I'm doing an audio video, so I'm gonna try and edit it up, like pictures in there and posters in there and stuff like that. But yeah, it's so far from the commercials and trailers are some of the most annoying ones. And the cast, you got Douglas Smith, you got Lucien Leviscount, you got Cresta Bones, Doug Jones, Michael Trucco, and Jenny Cannell, as well as Erica Tremblay. Now, this cast, I don't know, I've never really seen them in other horror films. I'm not recognizing any names. So far from the trailer, the acting looks a little bit bad. Just so far from what I've seen, it looks pretty bad. And just, I don't know. I mean, I get it. I haven't seen it yet. That's why this isn't a movie review. This is just my thoughts on it so far. And just the fact that it's a January horror film. It's PG-13. It has the freaking title of The Bye Bye Man. This movie really needs to go bye-bye. This horror film needs to go bye-bye. And another thing that really irritates me is that the trailer for this film was being played on Friday the 13th. And I cannot believe this freaking horror film did this crap. It literally was like, Friday the 13th belongs to Jason. Or like, Friday the 13th usually belongs to Jason. Something like that. Saying Friday the 13th belongs to Jason. But this Friday the 13th belongs to the Bye Bye Man. The Bye Bye Man, oh gosh, man. The Bye Bye Man will not take the Friday the 13th date. Friday the 13th is Jason's date. Friday the 13th is the day that I sit down with a box set, with my box set of Jason movies, and watch as many as I can. Or watch at least a few of them, like parts 1 or 2, or parts 3 and 4, or parts 4 and 5, something like that, or parts 6 and 7, is where I sit down and watch Jason movies. It is not the day I went and seen the Bye Bye Man. It was a day that I see on TV that the freaking Bye Bye Man trailer was saying, oh yeah, Jason's day is Friday the 13th, but the Bye Bye Man's day is this Friday the 13th. Pretty much saying that this Friday the 13th was the Bye Bye Man's day. No, that day is Jason's day. That is Jason's date. Friday the 13th is Jason's date. That is not the Bye Bye Man. And I don't understand why they would even put that on TV. Because me as a horror film, as a horror fan, kind of, insulted by that. The Bye Bye Man, I get it. It's a release date. I know I'm taking it too seriously. It's just a release date. But the fact they released this horror film on Friday the 13th, I believe. No, it was, Friday the 13th was when it was released. The fact that they would do that and try to, and then freaking put it on television and on YouTube and on Facebook and on everything that has advertisements for films and stuff, to actually put that on there and go, Friday the 13th is usually Jason's date, but this Friday the 13th is the Bye Bye Man's day. No, it's not. It is not the Bye Bye Man's date. That is, Friday the 13th is Jason's day. That is the day that I sit down and watch Jason movies, not the Bye Bye Man. So I know it's just a minor thing. I know it's just a release date, but it kind of irritated me because for me being a horror fan and hearing that and this crappy piece of crud trying to say this freaking movie trying to say that it's gonna be that this Friday the 13th is not Jason's day, that it's the Bye Bye Man's day. That this Friday the 13th, all that matters is the Bye Bye Man. No, No, freaking Friday the 13th was the day that I watched some Jason movies, not the Bye Bye Man. So beyond that, the fact that the release date is on Jason's Day, on Friday the 13th, January 30th, 2017. Besides that irritating thing, you also got just the trailer repeating the same phrase, don't think it, don't say it. It literally repeats itself 5 to 6 times. When you see trailers back to back to back on YouTube, and you see Facebook trailers, or you see Twitter trailers, or trailers on, Spotify or whatever, because I kept seeing this freaking advertisement. And the people are like, well, it was January, it was the month of its release, it's going to have those trailers playing. I understand this, but for the fact that months before it was doing the same thing, it was long before the release, the month of the release, it was doing that, where I would see it pop up on Facebook or pop up on YouTube. And then the trailer would say the Bye Bye Man about, or it would say don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it line about 5 to 6 times. When you hear it 5 to 6 times, it's freaking annoying. So you got that, you got the fact they freaking bury the freaking phrase all over the freaking poster. So not only do they keep repeating it in the trailers, they keep repeating it on the poster. Literally, the poster, like I mentioned earlier, it's right here on the screen, or it might be gone now because I'm going to put some pictures in there. But literally, the poster repeats the lines, don't think it, don't say it, about 10 to 12 times. It freaking takes up almost all of the poster. Literally. And I know that in the past there have been posters that sort of did that, You're Next, Evil Dead, the 2013 remake. There's been horror films that have done that before where they have words on the front of the poster. But those were, for You're Next, those were critic reviews. And that was actually a pretty cool thing. It actually matched the poster. Evil Dead, when I went to the theaters, and I walked into the theaters back before the movie came out, so it would have been either late 2012 or early 2013, when I went to go to the theaters to watch a movie, and I seen the poster for the Evil Dead remake, and it said, the most terrifying horror film you'll ever experience. I was excited for it. I actually looked at the poster, and I was like, that's an awesome poster. That didn't annoy me. The Bye Bye Man poster really annoyed me. So, just the fact that, okay, we have horrible advertisements that are really freaking annoying. The fact that it tried to freaking come out on Friday the 13th, and tried to say, oh yeah, well this is the Bye Bye Man's day. No. It is Jason's Day. As a horror fan, I am insulted by the fact that it would say that. I'm insulted. But, besides that minor thing, you also got the poster, which has the freaking Bye Bye Man slogan, don't think it, don't say it, or the catchphrase, don't think it, don't say it, or the line in general. You got the freaking trailers all over YouTube, all over Facebook, all over, well before January, it was well over all the place. It was all over the place, all on Facebook, all on Twitter, all on YouTube, all these places that play, movie trailers and stuff. And first of all, you have, like I said, the repeating phrase, don't think it, don't say it. But you've also got a really annoying, just freaking ridiculously loud jump scare where the kid goes, like, don't think it, don't say it. They say who, like, don't think and don't say what. And then he goes, the Bye Bye Man. Freaking one of the most loudest jump scares I've seen in a trailer, in a horror film trailer. Just so far looks bad. And the plot as well, just a plot of these kids, they find this mysterious figure, this mysterious person, the Bye Bye Man, and that if you think it or you say it, the Bye Bye Man appears and tries to kill you. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that in a horror film before. I can't tell you how many times there's been horror films where, oh yeah, if it's mentioned, or if you mention it at all, they'll pop up and they'll kill you or something like that. Just so far from what I've seen and read on like the plot and stuff, it's just typical. But it's PG-13. It was released in January. It is a 3.8 on IMDb, so the rating is very, very low for the film. Believe it or not, guys, it actually didn't bomb. This movie made money. It didn't make a lot of money, but it made back its budget. It cost $7 million. It made $15 million in the U.S. That is freaking crazy. I can't believe it. I don't know how this movie made money, because for me personally, if I would see, like, for me personally, just the trailer and the title of the film, it was already ridiculous from the start, because we had the same line being repeated in the trailers, we had the same line being repeated on the poster, and the title, The Bye Bye Man, was just awful. And the trailer looked pretty bad as well, because the cast, the acting didn't look that good. The premise didn't look that interesting. It just looks pretty bad. But surprisingly, it didn't bomb, and I'm actually extremely surprised by that. Cost $7 million, made $15 million in the U.S. It's crazy. I can't believe it didn't bomb. But anyways, guys, it's just, it gets a low rating. It came out in January. It's PG-13. I've heard bad things about it. The trailer looks pretty bad, and yeah, I mean, I will say this though: if I do watch the movie, and I'm gonna say this right now, if I watch The Bye Bye Man and it ends up being decent or okay, I'll say it's decent or okay. If it ends up being a horrible film, then I'll say it's a horrible film. So whenever I watch it and I do a review on it, it'll be really my honest opinions on it. If I go on the review and I go, hey, you know, the trailers and advertisements were really annoying, but the film itself is actually okay, then that might happen. But so far, guys, the movie gets a low rating. The poster sucks. The title of the film sucks. It's PG-13. First horror film of January. One of the worst months for horror. The trailers looked uninteresting and unintriguing. Annoying trailers as well. And the advertisements are some of the most annoying advertisements I've seen for a horror film. You know, and I can't think of any other horror films that have annoyed me so much with the trailers, with the advertisements and stuff like that. Just so far, an annoying, you know, uninteresting, unintriguing horror film. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my audio vlog talking about The Bye Bye Man. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but eventually I will see it. So when I do see it, I'll do a review on it. Like I said, it might surprise me and be okay. It might surprise me and be decent. So I'm just saying, so far, from the trailers that are really annoying, from the fact that it would try to come out on Friday the 13th, which is also really annoying, and it is an insult to me as a horror fan, because The Bye Bye Man just looks like a crappy horror film from January. That's PG-13. That's what it looks like. A crappy horror film from January. That's PG-13. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my video on The Bye Bye Man, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.